Please do not ever tamper with fire alarms in any public building for any reason. Remember, these things are installed in these buildings for a reason. These are there to alert people that the building is on fire and they must evacuate now. And this is going to save your life. This is not meant to be messed around with. Don't ever unscrew the alarm off the wall. You don't ever paint the alarm. You don't ever take the strobe off the alarm. You don't ever take the horn off the alarm. You don't ever disable the horn or the strobe on the alarm. You don't ever adjust the volume, the pattern, the candela, or tone on the alarm. You don't ever cut power to the alarm. You don't ever do any of that. And don't ever take the plate off the alarm. You never pull the alarm for fun. Also, never open the alarm switch. Never tamper with the control panel or any other controls for the fire alarm system. Never tamper with the detectors. You just don't do any of that in public. Again, if you want to do these things to your own fire alarms at home, that is totally fine. But if you're doing these things to fire alarms in public buildings, that is not okay at all. So don't do it. These are things you should never ever do in public. It is wrong and unnecessary. You don't tamper with fire alarm equipment. You don't pull it. You don't vandalize it. You don't do any of that. Only when there is an emergency is when you pull it. Or if you have permission to, when you're doing a drill or a system test, or if you have your own fire alarm system at home that is in a controlled, legal environment where the fire department doesn't come. But other than that, do not pull fire alarms. And don't tamper with fire alarm equipment and don't vandalize it. Again, if you want to do it with your own alarm, that is totally fine. But if you're doing it with an alarm in a public building, that is not okay at all. So don't do it. If you paint the fire alarm, it is not going to work anymore. It may still work, but it won't be able to notify people when there's an emergency. So don't do it. Remember, if you paint it, you have to replace it. You are responsible for replacing that if you break it. Never smash the fire alarm. Oh gosh, no, don't ever do that. You are responsible for replacing that if you break it. You tampered with it, you paint it, you break it, you are responsible for replacing that. So do not do anything like that if you don't want to go through that. You just do not mess around with fire alarms in public buildings or any other life safety device for that matter. Remember, fire alarms are not toys, so you do not mess with them. Again, if it's your own alarm, it is a toy, but if it's a public alarm, it is not a toy. Do not bring your screwdriver into a public building. Just keep your screwdriver at home. If you bring your screwdriver into a public building, then you are going to be asking for trouble because you are going to unscrew an alarm and take it off the wall to take it with you, and that is not good at all. So don't do that. That is stuff you don't do in public. You never pull fire alarms for fun, and you never tamper with fire alarms, and you never vandalize fire alarms. You never do any of that to fire alarms in public buildings. Only pull fire alarms if there is a real fire, or if you have permission to do it during a drill or a system test. And never ever tamper with fire alarm equipment in public for any reason. Bye.